am back with another Snapchat Q&A where this time...
Alright, Josh.
Fire all weapons.
Wheat is mad now.
Hello guys, Florian here. Today's project will be a simple one. We are going to build a simple monitor stand. I'm now heading to our local hardware store to get some supplies. They should be cheap. I've been so many times here, it feels like a second home to me. I want to note that I didn't have anything scripted, and what I got is what I think it was best suited for my project. First I went to the wood section and got for myself a 2m by 30cm wood panel that has a thickness of 18mm. You can adapt the dimension depending on your project. This panel was quite cheap, it was around €6. Next I went to the finishing section, where I got one triangle timber and one angle molding timber. They look like this. For the legs of the monitor stand, you can do it cheaper and faster by using furniture fit like this. You only need 4 screws for each one and be done fast, but I want to do it all in wood and complicate my life. The piece you are seeing now is what I use to rest my feet when I'm sitting at the PC. My current desk is 130cm wide, so I'll do my stand at 120 to avoid it falling off my desk. Always use a 90-degree ruler for perfect lines. Now, start cutting the board with whatever tool you have. I recommend a circular saw for perfect cuts. If you don't have such a tool, an electric or manual jigsaw will do the trick. Take your time to make the cut as straight as you can. This way you'll avoid filing the edge later. Have someone to help you while doing your cuts to avoid splintering at the end of the cut, like I did. Next, file down the edge if necessary, but do remember that this part will be covered by the angle molding timber, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, we have to measure the feet. I decided that 10cm is just about right, but feel free to use whatever height you please for your project. This part I had to do it again, because I wasn't able to cut the edge perfectly for the 2 feet. And I had to get a circular saw to do it right. Good thing that I had more spare wood from the board to do it. Next I measured the angle molding. Cut this one a bit longer, since you have to take into consideration the added width of the 2 side pieces. 1-2 cm more should be enough. Then cut 2 more parts for the sides, depending on your board dimensions. I had to cut 2 pieces of 30cm here. Again, you can leave a bit more if you please. I'm doing this because I'm not a master woodworker and I do make mistakes. This way I'm sure I'll still have some material left if I mess up and have to file it down. Once everything has been cut, I choose to do a wood stain. I didn't use any varnish since I don't like the glossy wood finish. The color I choose is walnut, and after I applied it once with a brush, I immediately wiped it off with a cloth. I've seen this technique on YouTube and I like the results, so I applied the same method here. And please, use some gloves, not like me. After this, do let it dry for 1-2 days. I also decided to put 2 pieces of angle molding on the sides of the feet, so cut 2 more for the length of 10cm, and then file off the edges for a perfect cut. Now to the delicate part. This one is quite tricky to do it right because of the shape of the timber. I have to cut perfect 45 degrees angles to each side and at the same time trim the excess wood that I left. Take your time, measure twice, cut once. Also take into consideration the added width of the side pieces as well. File off any imperfections till everything joins just fine. I didn't get it right from the first time, so I had to do some filing. assembly I used hot glue, but later came back and added few small nails. I think they are called brad. All of this to make it safer. By the way, you can do this before starting to add the glue. At this point, ask someone to help you to do the gluing. I also turned on the back side of the board to glue the inside edge as well. Clear any residue with the gun since the tip is hot and will melt any imperfections with ease. Glue the feet and add the triangle timber for added strength. Remember, I also used some brad nails to strengthen the joint. Since I'm not going to fix this stand on my current desk, because I'm planning to do a DIY desk later, for now I'll be using these cloth pads for the feet not to scratch the current desk. And here's the finished product. I'm pretty pleased how everything turned out, and I find sitting at my PC more ergonomical, since the monitor sits at the level of my eyes. Hope you enjoyed this project and give it a like if you please. Till next time, see ya!